So as we start into our 4-H division and our AOBs, really just a couple classes here. Nice sheep. Impressed with both of them. We go to class 1. That's a nice one that wins. I think in terms of just build and skeleton, got a big old set of fuzzy legs on him, fitted up really nice. Sheep's got a good body shape. Not the heaviest muscle one ever, but I like that one's build. And the one that's second may have just a notch more muscle shape, but with that strapped on that skeleton, that one wants to get a little high spine, a little off in his skeleton, tight from behind as we watch that one go too. Needs to handle his hind leg differently. We get to class 2 and got a big weather here that wins this class. I like him quite a bit, just in terms of having some extra width and dimension. A really bold-bodied one here that's open up and drops his flank down. Steps down on a big set of running gears there. I think that's an awful nice sheep. The one that's second to him, productive, just a good all-American sheep, probably a little fatter than we'd like to call ideal, just in terms of his look over his forerib and back around his dock there. I'd like to trim that one down ever so slightly and firm him up. So a really good set of sheep there in this AOB division. I'm going to go ahead and use the heavy sheep there for our champion out of this division. I think that one just got a lot of good in him, product and power. We're going to turn around and use that one out of class 1 for our reserve. I think just in terms of cutability and having some extra trimness, that's a nice place to go for your reserve. Good set. Congratulations to all those exhibits. All right, we're starting to our 4-H Crossbred division. Really a nice set here. Good set of sheep. 4 good competitive classes. We start with class 1. This one is really good built, good on his feet and legs, got some pattern and look from the side. Maybe could just use a notch more shape in terms of out of her hip and down to her stifle. But I think that's a nice sheep to go ahead and start the class. The one in second, love the build of this one. But probably just a little too green in terms of condition today to get along any higher. But I like the build of that one, skeleton. That sheep could feed for a while. If you got any future shows, I'd be optimistic about that one's potential. Class 2 gets a little closer for me. That's probably one of the harder decisions I've had here, and I'll just tell you why. The one that wins it, I really like this one from up high in terms of his shape and his width. One you study him going away from, he's got some extra width at his hock and at the ground there. For me, this one needs to be better through his lower chest cavity and the way he reads back into his flank. That one progresses in terms of his width in the wrong way there underneath, and that one just needs to be deeper and fuller back into his flank. But I think that one has some merit. And the one in the second there is better in that area. I think that one's chest floor reads this notch better. Not as stout-featured, not as truly heavy-muscled, but a good sheep. Go to class 3, and the young lady's got her an awfully nice weather. I think just a right down the middle of the road, square, stout built, good-legged, fundamentally sound sheep that most of us raising showlings would like to make a lot of them look like this one, because he's got all the right pieces. Now, in here, has he got enough muscle in like lower leg and stifle shape? That's probably where we'd like to make him just a little better today. The one that's second to him, man, that thing is big-legged and wide and stout, but with all that extra muscle, it makes him a little coarser and rounder. Need to make that a little better from a profile. Then we go to class 4, and man, we step up the game here on this one just a little bit. This old young lady's got her weather, who's stout and powerful, big top and back in this sheep. You know, if you're going to pick on him, he could be just a notch more expressive in his muscle, but I guess you're really hunting things to find something wrong with that sheep, because he's an awfully nice specimen. The one that's second, now this guy's got some muscle. Keith's got him a sheep here that's just wrapped up, bold, expressive, you know, just really powerful down his top and out of his hip. Kind of like a couple of classes ago. This is one of those sheep with all that extra muscle and power. He gets a kind of coarse and round, too low in his neck set there, instead of him right in the point of his shoulder, particularly like a 3/4 angle. He's pretty pronounced in his angle there up front. We'd like to make that sheep lay his shoulder in just a little nicer. So, really competitive set of crossbreds here. I think your champion comes quite simple out of class 4. He's the one that needs to win this division. Your reserve gets slightly closer, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with the one that was second to him for your reserve in this division. I think that sheep's extra muscle and power validates him to go ahead and be reserved for this division. So nice job. Congratulations to all of them. So as we start into our 4-H division, Dorset Market Lamb Show, I think 2 classes of quality sheep here. Class 1, sheep's just a good all-American Dorset. Good built, good in terms of its kind. Feet and legs are good. Got a little extra set to his hind leg and his pastern there. Not crazy muscle, but got an adequate amount. I think a nice place to start that class. The sheep in second, you like the body shape of that one. That one needs to be bigger pin, particularly, like I say, his pin and his hip there. He's more lower leg and stifle shape. nonetheless one that's long-bodied and good build. I clicked on Class 2, and I'm just going to tell you, folks, that one probably made me step back from the computer and readjust my sight there for just a second. Look at this sheep a second time, because this one, probably for a Dorset market land, probably got me as excited about one as I've seen possibly anywhere. And for sure, this breed is he's a special creature. I mean, he is. This one moves good. He's wide at the ground. He's stout-featured. Just got the right kind of shape and muscle. I don't know where he'd come from, nothing about that sheep, but if somebody had enough gumption to cut this one, they must raise some awfully nice Dorset sheep, because that's a special creature right there. The one that's second, nice lamb, good and long-bodied, square hip, doesn't have quite enough bone and foot and fuzz to anywhere come close to running with the one that beats him today, but that's a nice sheep young man's got. I like that one quite a bit as well. So I think this Dorset division gets really, really simple on which one's the best one out here. We're going to use the one out of Class 2. The young lady's got her a special individual there. We're going to go ahead and stick with that heavy class and use the one that was second in there for your reserve, another one that follows in quite well. Nice job. Congrats to both of them. All right, guys, so as we start into our Hampshire division, our 4-H show, not many classes, but I think the quality is very impressive. We start with Class 1. Man, I love the build of this sheep the young man's got, just in terms of being flat-shouldered and good down his lines, good hip and hind leg. That one appears to get out and go really nice. I think that's just an awfully high-quality one. The one that's second here, certainly this ewe lamb, just tons of power, just rib and body and bone, base width, all those things. Same time, the sheep gets pretty restricted out of her hip, wants to run downhill just a little, kind of coarse in her build, just gives you a little off look. Then I click on the Class 2, and this one's my flavor, guys. This one is, in terms of one that's really shapely and good from the side, and in terms of balance, runs uphill, chest floor shoved up, drops down, progression of width into his flank is good. And then we take that video and get up on top of this guy one time, and his back shape's incredible. You can see it in a video. I can only imagine in person what that one would handle like, and I sure think that one is awfully impressive. The one that's second, young man's got him a nice sheep there in terms of balance and look, but he ain't got near enough power to run with that boy that beats him today in class. So congratulations to all of them. I think let's keep this deal really simple and go ahead and use the one out of Class 2 for your champion Hamp in this division. We're going to keep it the same and go out of Class 2 for your reserve, and one the young man's got there will be your reserve sheep in that Hamp division. So congratulations to all of them. Good job. Guys, as we start into our 4-H natural color division, got 3 classes here with some quality. I like all of them quite a bit. One we start the first class with. This is a nice sheep, level and square, got a good hip. Needs to be a little better on his hind legs there. Needs to be a little more corrected his pasturing. Probably not more shapely. That's still a nice lamb there to go ahead and win this first class. The one in second we got by the headlights here. One that's got a notch more length and extension. Really thin hide, it looks like. Got a little funky hind leg there, though. One that needs to set down a little square at his hop. Probably needs to travel just a little better as well. But still a nice sheep for that young man. Second class, the young lady's got one here that I think is just a good all-American sheep in terms of body and some base width and bone. That one's got some merit. Probably a little round hip and flatter there through a stifle, but still a nice sheep. And second, one that's just a practical kind of a market lamb. Little round, whole sheep here just gets a little off in his hip and balance standpoint. But from a muscle and rib and volume, I think that one's good and got to have some cutability. We go into Class 3, and man, this one kind of sets the bar in this particular division. This sheep's really, really nice in terms of his body and base width and muscle. Whether that's got some quality there. Good to see him out here today. One that's second to him, big and long and extended. One that needs to be stouter featured and have a notch more sheer shape and dimension up high. Still a nice lamb there that exhibitor has. So for me, I think this gets real elementary here in terms of which one's the best, and that's out of Class 3. That sheep is going to know to go ahead and win this natural division the young lady's got. I like that one's power and muscle. That's a real logical thing to do. For your reserve gets a lot closer, and I wouldn't argue with you here a whole lot. If you like one different to me, I'm going to tie into the one out of Class 2 the young lady's got. I think the fundamentals of that sheep are just a notch better than a couple of the others. So congratulations to both those young ladies. Good job. We get into our 4-H division, speckle face division. Really, I think some good sheep out here in both these two classes. But ultimately, we kick on that Class 1, and man, this is another one like we've had several times earlier. This one just looks like a show sheep. I mean, he's got the build and stature, one that's good through his lines, and got some extra muscle to go with it. This is an awfully nice weather to win this particular class. The one that's second, ewe lamb here, has got some extra length and good there, good in terms of her body and her hip. One's a little more refined at the ground, got a little extra set to her hind leg. Class 2, we're going to go ahead and start with that ewe lamb, one that's really powerful and big hip, got a little extra body to go with it. At the same time, there's the heavier weight here, and the Speckle is getting a little extra condition on her, a little plainer about her muscle shape. The one that's standing in 2, I like the extra length this sheep's got. I mean, in terms of length and extension up front, you want to call that one better, more extended. I wouldn't argue with you. This one, though, for me, probably needs more true body shape. It needs to be a little bolder and square in terms of muscle. Still think an awfully nice sheep. So, again, similar to some of the other divisions, I think we got a real logical class winner with the one out of Class 1, or excuse me, not a class winner, but a division winner in our Speckle face. Here out of Class 1, it'll come. Young lady's got an awfully nice sheep there. We're going to go ahead and stick with the lightweight sheep and go ahead and use the one that was second for your reserve Speckle face sheep. Congratulations to all them exhibitors on a nice job. Hey guys, in our 4H division, Suffolk division here, really a nice class of them. Not many, but man, the quality's good. We got a class winner that does so real good. This sheep's big and bold and stout featured and really heavy muscle and shapely. I like that about that guy. Still got a big old set of legs and running gear. I think he balances up nice from the side. He's not the neatest to his lower chest cavity as any I've ever seen, but I think for all that muscle and power, he's certainly very acceptable there. I think the one that's second to him will be your reserve Suffolk. Really long-bodied and good for the breed in terms of character about his head and legs. This one's just a little more refined and a little flatter in terms of his build, but nonetheless, good set of sheep there. Congratulations to both of them. All right, guys, so as we look for our champion in the 4H division, man, this set of sheep right here has been way impressive. I mean, obviously, it's unfortunate that we're having to judge them through videos and we can't be there in person because some of these sheep intrigue me quite a bit. I had the opportunity to judge a few sheep shows now, and some of these are as impressive as any I've seen, particularly from videos and pictures. I like them all quite a bit. We'll talk about them just briefly. I think that Suffolk sheep was good. I liked that one quite a bit. I thought that one out of his division had some extra power. You know, we talk about the Natural there. That's an awfully nice sheep. We get to our Hamp. Man, that thing is unreal in terms of his balance from the side to have that much muscle shape and expression. That one is a pretty unique creature. You know, we talk about these different ones here in terms of our crosses. Another one. We like that one. Same young lady's got that sheep. It's at her Hamp. And this one is really powerful. Maybe not quite as authentic in his shape and expression up high as we see in that Hamp sheep, but man, this thing is good. Keith had a really good one to go reserve there in that division. And take nothing away from our AOBs as well. And then we had our Dorsets also, and man, I'm going to tell you again that I thought in that particular breed, that one hit me awfully hard. That Dorset sheep is the one that just tons of quality from the side, and then for that breed to be that opened up in terms of his skeleton and still be good looking like that, that's an awfully nice sheep. So really challenging decision here in my mind to find your champion overall in your 4H division, because I think there's 3 or 4 true contenders out here. I'm going to go ahead and use the one, though, that I'm the most comfortable with, which is that Hampshire sheep. I think that's a pretty unique one in terms of his build and have that much muscle shape. I scratched my head to find your reserve for a little bit and wondered to make sure I wanted to use the one that I felt like was the best. And the one that I really liked the second most today is going to be that Dorset. And I'm going to use him for your reserve 4H division. So congratulations to both of them. Those are some awfully good sheep there. Congratulations. All right, guys, so we'll start with our AOB FFA show. Really a nice division, 3 good classes here. We got our first class there. Melanie's got a sheep really square and stout and powerful. I like the build of that one in terms of just being really stout and opened up. In the middle class here, Ava's got one that I think certainly gives us that look of a show sheep in terms of his skin and presence there, one that's really stout and powerful. Maybe just a little round up front, a little deeper up through his chest. But I do like that sheep quite a bit in the way he's presented in gear. It's got a pair of them in that last class that are both very good in terms of body shape and having some muscle. Both have some look from the side in terms of being level and squared on their tops and built pretty good at the ground. I think as you look for a champion amongst those three class winners, for me, the one that puts the things together is going to be Ava's Sheep out of Class 2. Just in terms of balance and putting those things together in the best package, I think he does that the best. For there, I think he gets a little closer between your second place sheep there and in that class and the other two. But we're going to go ahead and use the lightest sheep there out of Class 1 of Melanie's for your reserve. I think that one just gives us a little extra shape and expression of muscle, a little trimmer in terms of his design today. A nice place to go for reserve. Congratulations to those. All right, so we're starting into our FFA Crossbred Division Championship drive. Really a good set of sheep here in these four classes, and starts with the first class there, lightweight. The sheep is just tons of muscle there. One that's really shapely and square. Big-ended one wants to run downhill just a little bit. Probably could be straightened up at his knee there, or her knee just a little bit, but extremely high quality for sure. The one that was second in that class, a weather sheep, really good balance from the side, level and square. Needs a shot more muscle, particularly from behind. Needs to be bolder and square out of his hip. I do like that one in terms of having some look and balance from the side for sure. Class 2, we got that stout featured one. Another one, kind of like our Class 1 winner, got some extra muscle. Appears to be really shapely up high. Maybe wants to get just a notch coarse in the point of his shoulder. Probably a little average in terms of his body shape, but his muscle is very, very good. Appears to be presented very well also. I like that about him. Sheep that was second, long-bodied, appears to be really long from his last rib back. Good on his feet and legs. I like that about him. Wants to get a little high in his spine, maybe a little rounder out of his hip, but nonetheless still a really nice sheep there for sure. Class 3, this is the one that probably hits me as hard as any, just in terms of having some balance and look from the side, and still really shapely and square. I like that about that sheep. The young lady does a nice job pulling him together and getting him presented as well. Like those pieces. One that was second, big-legged, stout-featured one. Sheared down really tight, shapely. A little coarse in his build, a little rounder up front, a little off there in terms of just putting it together in a package that's so balanced. But I think he's awfully nice nonetheless. We go to Class 4. We got the big sheep here that Hector's got. That one that's really long and extended. He's got some muscle, big set of furry legs there on him, but one that's a little coarse in terms of his build, a little high spine, a little rough in the way he ties his loin into his hook bones there. We could blend those things a little together. Just a little nicer. And the one that goes second, long body, nice balance, ewe lamb. Just needs a shot more shape and expression. As you study that one down low, that sheep just needs a notch more to her. So really good set though, and I think as we try to pick a champion out of this group, we're going to go ahead and use Julia there at the third class to be our champion. I like that sheep quite a bit. And then we're going to go back and use the sheep out of Class 2 for our reserve. Another one's got a lot of muscle and a good sheep as well. So congratulations to those two exhibitors. Nice job. All right, guys, so as we move into our FFA Division Dorset show, really a nice two classes of sheep there, but really competitive set. I like both of those quite well. We talk about that Class 1 winner. Sheep that balances good from the side, relatively level in her lines and square hip. Needs to be a little better out of his pen and a little better at his hock when we watch that one go into motion. Nonetheless, a nice sheep. We go to Class 2 and we step the game up here just a little bit in terms of one that's built really good and got kind of a show lamb look. I mean, a wether that's really square and good at the ground. He goes away with you with enough width. If we're going to get hard on this guy, he probably could use a notch more shape, but that's being awfully critical on a really high quality one that wins this second class. Second place sheep there in Class 1 was one that we liked real well, and just in terms of being a productive market lamb, maybe needs to be a little further along in terms of feeding and condition. The one that was second in our second class, big, stout, powerful sheep, little round, coarse in his build, but still very good. So I think this division comes real simple. We'll go ahead and use that one out of the second class. He'll be your champion. That's an awfully nice sheep for a Dorset breed, and it doesn't matter really what breed. That's an awfully nice sheep. And then we're going to go ahead and use the one that was second in Class 10 for reserve with all that extra muscle and just shape today. Good set. Congratulations. All right, guys, so as we start into our FFA Division Hampshire show, three real good classes there. I think three sets of sheep that are very good. We'll talk about them briefly here. Class 1, Really square, wide-built sheep, super good body shape. That thing is round and open up. You like that about him. You like his base width. A sheep needs to be better in his top line. Needs to be better right behind his blade there and be come together in his top in relation from his loin to his hook bones just a little better. But I do like the power of that sheep for sure. The one that was second to him, young lady does a nice job getting him propped up. Really long-bodied, extended, a little green in terms of his condition. Sheep could use a shot more just feeding time to get his bloom up, but I like that sheep quite well. We move into Class 2, and this will be honestly, in this so far, this is sheep probably hit me as hard as any and to this point in time in the day. And this one is good and square. He's big-legged. Looks like a weather should from the side in terms of being square backed and got some width to go with it. You know, you pick on him. He's not the neatest through his lower chest floor as any we've seen, but man, he is wide and stout nonetheless. The sheep to second to him, that thing is wide. I mean, he is opened up massive in terms of just the volume of muscle to his rack and loin. I like that about that sheep quite a bit. He's one who wants to get up under himself a little with his feet as we watch him go. He's a little heavier condition as well, not quite as trim and as athletic as the one that beats him, but nonetheless a nice sheep to go second. We go to Class 3, and it's another one that, man, this one got my heart rate up just a little bit when we clicked on his video. I mean, this one is an absolute beast from the side in terms of balance and correctness. His angles are extremely good, and he's fitted to a T. This guy's pimped and proper there. He looks the part. If we pick on him when he goes away from you, he's not the widest one we've ever seen in terms of his hip and pin. Maybe like to make him just a nice boulder right there from behind. But I do think that one has a lot of merit. That's a very, very high-quality sheep. The one that was second to him, another nice lamb here, and you know, one that's got some quality in terms of having some muscle and some shape. Not nearly as good looking as the one that beats him though in class, but a really nice sheep. So with that being said, I'm going to tie into the build of quality and balance and use the one out of Class 3 for your Champion Hampshire in the FFA division. And we're going to go back to that Class 2 lamb that won that for your reserve in that Hamp division. Two really, really high quality lambs there. Congratulations to both of them. So as we move into our FFA division natural colored sheep, just one class, really good, really nice sheep though. The class winner comes to me real logically. Lamb, the young lady's got there, one that we love, the power and the base width and the muscle in that one. That one is really, really opened up and square. You know, particularly in terms of her hip and her hind leg. You know, that's one for me, as you analyze her long enough, she wants to get just ever so slightly high in her spine, wants to kind of bubble up right there and break right there in her hip-loin junction. But that's being critical and one I think needs to win this particular division quite nicely. The one that was second, really long, extended, tall-fronted lamb. Got some extra length of body, just a little frailer at the ground, a little flatter in terms of her muscle shape and pattern. A little higher flank too, but still a nice set there. Congratulations to both of them. All right, guys, we're starting to our FFA division into our Speckle face division. Actually, one of our larger ones in terms of numbers and classes. Man, we start right in that division with an awfully high-quality one here. This sheep that we start with that Paige has got there is the one that, I mean, you click on that video, this one intrigues you just from a balance standpoint, having some muscle, shape, and just kind of a show sheep look from the side, and is good in his underline. That's an extremely high-quality one that wins that class. The sheep is second, nothing wrong with him. He's good-bodied. Needs to be a notch stouter and more shapely to get up higher. To be anywhere close to running with that class winner, but nice sheep nonetheless. Class 2, Julia's got the winner there, the one that's really square and big legs on this one, really square from behind. And this one, though, you know, just gets a notch flat, maybe in terms of his center body shape and right out of his forerib. Like that sheep quite a bit, though, in terms of just his stoutness of feature. The one that's second there, a really good-bodied sheep, round-bodied, deep flank. Little plain on his build, but nonetheless still a nice second-place sheep. Class 3, we use one here that's just a little longer and more extended. Still got an adequate amount of muscle. Probably could be more shapely in terms of hard touch and handle I would expect in person, but still very, very good. The one that's second, really square built, good hip and hind leg. Maybe needs to be a little neater through his chest and her chest and floor there, and a little better through his shoulder, but I like that sheep quite a bit. We get into the fourth class here, and I tell you, this is a class winner I kind of dig, goes back and rivals that one out of the first class. This one's big and bold and stout, square hip. Young lady does an awfully nice job getting him presented. I think that sheep's got some merit. You know, again, another one, Maybe it could be just a notch more shapely as you study that one from behind going away from you. Maybe just a notch more true muscle expression probably be to his benefit, but awfully good sheep. One that was second there, really long and square, maybe a nice trimmer actually. A little frailer, more refined at the ground, a little flat. You study that one from behind. So real good division here in our FFA Speckle Face division. Ultimately, I'm going to tie into that lightweight sheep that Paige has for your class or for your division champion. I think that one's extremely high quality, and we're going to use the biggest one on the other end that Savannah's got for your reserve. I think both of those sheep are very, very high quality. Congratulations to both those exhibitors. In our FFA division and our Suffolk show, really a competitive set. Three good classes here. I like these sheep quite a bit. One out of the first class is a power sheep. He spikes up a view that's got some muscle and rib and body. Appears to be really big-ended and shapely from behind. I like that sheep quite a bit. Young lady's got an awfully nice one there. One of those second, good muscle and shape up high. This one gets a little round and coarse in terms of his build. Maybe not quite the look you see in the one that wins. Class 2, young lady's got another one. I think from the side you appreciate this sheep quite a bit in terms of being level and square. Good pattern as well. This sheep needs a shot more muscle, just sheer power and base width, and just to be open up. You watch him going around there, needs to be a sure notch wider. The one that's second there has got some look and balance. This sheep though just needs more true power and muscle. Needs to lay his spine down just a little bit. We go to class 3, and here's the sheep that probably suits my fancy as good as any of them, just from a standpoint of being really powerful and open up and big hip. Really good body shape. This sheep does run downhill just ever so slightly when we watch him go. Wants to get a little coarse and plain in the point of his shoulder. But I'm telling you, I take ones like that all day. So one of those second probably is better up front. This sheep probably much more extended and just longer body, really long and square hip. But that sheep needs just as much more to him, particularly from his lower stifle and lower leg shape there. Nonetheless, a nice sheep. So with all that being said, I think the logical thing to do here is to tie into that stout one out of class 3, the heaviest one there the young man's got. I really like the power and the base width and added bone and substance of that one. We're going to go back to the lightest sheep there in class 1 for your reserve. They're at 120 pounds. That's an awfully nice sheep. And I think there's enough of them, too, to justify going ahead and using him for reserve today in this division. Congratulations to both of them. Nice job, guys. So out here for our FFA Division Champion, I want to tell all of y'all congratulations on a really good set of sheep. Just from across the board as we start down and we look across the set of them, just a really powerful set of sheep. You guys should be awfully proud of them. I think as we talk about the specific ones out here that probably suit me the best, and I really like that speckle face sheep real well. I think that one's build and quality of substance is awfully nice. The Suffolk sheep is really stout. I like the power that one's got in terms of just being open up and cracked open and just really bold and wide. We talked about that Dorset being a nice one in terms of having some look. Early on in the deal we saw him and thought that one had quite a bit of look. I think our AOB lamb's a nice sheep. And the crossbreds is just what I would expect. Both of those guys there are very heavy muscled sheep that got some power and some shape. I like both of those quite well. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we step into that Hamp division, and I think that's where we probably got the most heat at. I thought that was a close decision between the Champion and Reserve there. I like the Champion's added look and balance of skeleton and build. Maybe the Reserve was just a notch stouter, not maybe quite as good up front as that one that beat him in division. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and leave those two sheep together. We're going to use both the Champion and Reserve Hamps for our Champion and Reserve FFA lambs. Congratulations to both those exhibitors on a really nice set of sheep. All right, guys, so again, thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to come back the second year here and judge the Kern County Fair. My name is Brent Jennings. I serve as the North Carolina 4-H Youth Livestock Specialist. I work at NC State University and have that title there. And fortunately, I have a wife, Allison, who works with the Ag Education here in North Carolina. I have two boys, Zaid, who's 9, and Carter, who's 4. We enjoy showing some sheep and goats. And then we also have a small flock of sheep that we are attempting to raise some quality show lambs. And then Carter, my youngest one, has the bright idea to raise a few goats now as well. So we're diving into that a little bit also. So a little bit about me there, and born and raised here in North Carolina. enjoy that opportunity. Enjoy the opportunity to judge some shows. And, man, I will tell you, first and foremost, I enjoyed it last year coming out and getting the chance to judge. Y'all have an awfully unique county fair there, and one that I will not forget anytime soon in terms of not only the fair itself, but the quality of sheep and the young people that come through the ring. It was a lot of fun last year. And that, man, I tell you, my hat's off to you all this year as well, because y'all, it's been a wild year, as we all know, and I appreciate the fact that y'all all took the time to shoot these videos and do that over the last little bit and submit them. And I know it can be frustrating, but I promise you, y'all have done the right thing, and best of luck as you continue down the road. So wish all of you the best, and hopefully you'll have some shows. Sooner or later, we'll get back to some form of normalcy here, and things will go back to normal for you all. So wish you all the best, and I do want to say, though, this has been an incredible set of sheep to evaluate now. And I've done a few of these online deals, and it offers some challenges, but man, this one's been as good as a lot of them, as any I've done, in the top end in particular. Very impressed. As we get them back out here, we got our FFA division. We got the 2 Hamps out of that, Champion and Reserve there out of that division, and man, both of those, we talk about them as individuals. The Champion Hamp there, or the Champion FFA sheep, which was the Champion Hamp, that one is great looking from the side. I mean, that one balances as good as any you could make. Just picture perfect in terms of the silhouette and look, up-headed and good-chested. Sheep could use a shot more muscle if you want to get down and real critical on him, but I think that one is pretty special. The one that's second, reserve in that division, man, that one may have a shot more power, but probably not quite as good looking in his build. But man, both of those sheep are awfully special. I'd sure be proud to not only show or exhibit one of those two, but to raise something like that, I'd be proud of them. We get to our 4-H division, and man, you guys weren't playing around there, I can promise you. We had several really good sheep in that division, and these two are good representations. We have the Champion Hamp out here that wins that, and that one's shallow and good-bodied and shapely. Pretty unique creature there in my mind. And then we actually, for the first time I think ever for me, I used a Dorset for your reserve, and man, as I said, in his class or in his division and out there and overall, and then for the 4-H deal, that one is a pretty special sheep in terms of his kind. So really one that has some neat pieces for the breed. So man, I congratulate all 4 of you out here today. Again, I wish you all the best. The one that suits me the best today, is going to be the Champion 4-H lamb. That was our Champion Hamp. Julia has that. That's an awfully nice sheep. Like that one a ton. Congratulations to her. And I'm going to go ahead and follow it with that Dorset that was your reserve 4-H lamb as well. I think those two are pretty unique in terms of their build and quality and muscle. Sheep that are very challenging to build, and I wish you all the best with them. Hope you'll get the chance to show them live in person here at some point in time. So guys, you all take care. Enjoy the opportunity.